A key 70-point stage in the green jersey battle. Little Trek not wanting a sprint at all, and some rouleur action. Quick-Step, NSN and Alpecin had their hands full today from Circuit Nevers-Monnicourt to Chalon-sur-Saône. 179 kilometers long, some light hills, but mostly flat. We have two little hills, like 3-minute, 3.5-minute, 4-5% hills, 20 Ks from the finish. But because there's 70 points on offer, because Mads Pedersen has an advantage in the green jersey competition, they don't want it to be a sprint. They even jumped in break formation. Ineos, UNO-X wanting to get in the break. A lot of teams trying to get in the break today, including UNO-X, but teams not wanting them in. Quick-Step, NSN. Every time a strong rider, Abrahamsen was marked, Asgren was marked. There was an Astana, an Alpecin, a Quick-Step, and sometimes a decathlon marking them. See here, Valentin Paris-Pantret. He's my MVP of the day. The slender climber on Soudal Quick-Step. He's got Asgren, he's marks him out of the races on the radio, saying Asgren and Schmidt are going, someone get across here. Verstroffer goes, loads of guys jumped, eventually got blocked up, and that was that. He was in the breakaway, and we thought, okay, it's just going to be a sprint. You know, we've got the intermediate sprint coming up. He's got 1 minute 40. The two hills at the end of the stage aren't that hard. And in this intermediate sprint, this might have been Mads Pedersen's green jersey bid over, because he goes from the center line across. Philipsen has to stop pedaling. He gets blocked. It's obviously, clearly should be a relegation. He isn't relegated, and which would have been a disaster. More so that he won the sprint against Philipsen, but that's only an 8-point swing, 4 points either way. Being relegated means he would have lost the full 20, which is like half of his lead at the moment after this stage in the green jersey competition. There's more attacks. Caruso, Costu, and Vercher go across. A bit of rain, which maybe was welcome for the riders who've been, enduring very hot temperatures for the last 2 weeks. And then we get to the hill zone. It's still not that hard. And we see that it's Quick-Step on the front. The GC teams are suddenly in position, and Quinn Simmons sends it. He's got Vavaka chasing him on the wheel. NSN again. Vacek goes over the top, and we get this mega strong split of rouleurs. We've got Ganna, Schmidt, Hagenez, Kirsch, Marsman, Askey, Ballerini. It's incredibly strong. Fred Wright, British national champion, but only half of them are pulling. Visma aren't pulling with Hagenez. Picnic aren't pulling. Askey and Marsman are blocking for Binney and Philipsen respectively, as well as Dan Holer for Olav Koy. So only about half the guys in here were trying to ride, which was bad news for Ganna. I'd argue that this is actually the best chance for teams like Picnic, Visma to get a stage result in this sort of stage. But Quick-Step have to react, and look at where my MVP is. Valentin Paris-Pantret, he's on the wheel of Vingegaard. Van Wilder's sending it. He has to save the day. This break was about to go. Quick-Step were running out of numbers. They'd used Van Baarle. Who do you call in a time like this? The 50-kilo Mont Ventoux winner. Snap closes it on a false flat uphill at 50 k's an hour. A break with Vacek pulling full with Schmidt. Unbelievably strong. He was nearly gapping the Cofidis rider off his wheel. He's not done yet for the stage, by the way. So yeah, Quick-Step, Frigo as well for NSN. Frigo and Askey were outstanding, shutting this race down. So Trek were really aggressive. They did not want to sprint, mainly for the green jersey points, to take the 70 points away. They jumped with G, they jumped with Schelmoser, they jumped with Simmons again. And Simmons, he drops basically everyone off the wheel. Very, very impressive attack. Kind of drops himself. He high-fives. I'm not sure if it's his dad. High-fives someone with an American flag on the side, which was pretty cool, whilst he was literally dropping guys out of his wheel. So Simmons very, very strong. Vacek bridges across to him, but I think he went too deep. And then he's also got guys not pulling with him afterwards because they were cooked, even though these guys were trying to cooperate. They were just cooked, the EF Cofidis, UNO-X guys. Gregoire goes across. Visma starts sending the descent. And then Mads Pedersen himself begins to attack. Attacks on the descent. He's going to attack on the flat section. Schelmoser himself is going to attack. So a very hectic finish to this stage. Look who it is marking Pedersen personally. Remember, Pedersen's like a multi-time Gent-Wevelgem winner classics sprinter, and VPP won the Mont Ventoux stage from the breakaway last year, and he just snap closes Pedersen. And normally when a small guy does that, he gets dropped out of the wheel after. That never happens. He is literally one of the most unique. I've never seen a rider that small do it. Ever. Like, it's like Ivan Sosa if he was doing this. It's incredible what VPP does. He is a unique rider in what he can do for his size. Anyway, it was very exciting, but we're going to have a sprint regardless. Astana lock it down. We go into the last mile. Askey on the front, and then I think Carr did a pretty good job for Gaviria, frankly, putting him in the mix. Gaviria's been not bad in these sprints, but Alpecin come left with Merlier. When Sturven tagged onto their train, they come with speed, but Rousseau moving across, he and Merlier bump shoulders, so Merlier loses the momentum, and he doesn't get to the wheel or back to the wheel of Sturven. He's a bit deep. Looks good for Alpecin. I thought they'd hit, the risk is when you come from the back like that you never get to the front with Philipsen. They did that. They came with the change of speed. They got 700 meters left when the second last man's going. Plancart. Jasper Sturven saves the day here for Merlier because he forces MVDP to go 50 meters earlier than he wanted to. If he doesn't do this, MVDP would have sat on Plancart for another 50 meters. He's forced to go at 450, I think it was, or 500. And that means he's dropping Philipsen off at 220. I'll come back to the crash with Gaviria, Van Mechelen. Coy was affected by that as well. Coy comes, he surfs through the middle. But look, 200, I think, and 20 meters to go. Philipsen hits wind. Merlier hasn't hit wind. Merlier has to sit down a little bit, but he's just got, I think it was 5 full seconds longer in the draft. And the space opens, he levers Pedersen out of his left shoulder, and Merlier hits the open wind, and he's the quickest to the finish, his third stage win. Here's the crash, though. We've got a right-hand bend, high-speed bend. Van Mechelen's have gone left with Coy because Ricard was coming back, and then he's re-establishing his position. He goes right. Gaviria was going left a little bit. Van Mechelen got relegated for this, for changing his line, or I guess, I don't know, yeah, in a sprint, and everyone's held up. No one lost GC time, but obviously a lot of guys pretty hurt. Gaviria and Bergmoos. But Tim Merlier wins ahead of Coy, Philipsen third, then Bini, Fortin, Turgis, Cantor, Rousseau, Pedersen, Hubart. Here's what the Belgian had to say after the stage.
Honestly, yesterday we were a bit worried when we saw you in the last few positions and not sprinting as you normally are. Were you worried?
True, it was a different one also yesterday. And today I was really focus on the guys who didn't move yesterday. That was the reason why it was boxed in. So today I try all the time to stay in front of them. And today I found some space. It was just a little bit. I need to calm down and then launch again. And already before in the meeting I know it was a kind of finish. Who suits me.
By the way, good comment from Emo the other day. Here's the points classification. Pedersen has a 40-point lead ahead of Bini and a 46-point lead ahead of Philipsen. It's between those three. We have 2 kind of sprint stages left, 17, but that could be a break stage. So it's going to be tricky for Bini and Philipsen. They're going to want that to be a sprint, and then it might come down to the Champs-Élysées. So really, really tight. Pedersen's the favorite right now. Hope you enjoy the video. See you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.